Hey, so what's going on everyone, and welcome back to another video. And this video I want to go over is going to be kind of like a different type of video. It's going to be a versus video, which is going to be a new series, which is just going to be happening maybe once a week. I'm not entirely sure if it's just going to be Marvel versus DC, but it more likely will be. It'll be on like characters, it'll be on powers, their weapons, stuff like that. It's going to be kind of like just basically Marvel versus DC, which is better, which character is better, which one do I prefer, and just going on and kind of saying which one I prefer, giving their history, their powers, their capabilities, all of that. So if you're new around here, you can subscribe for more of these videos. You can leave a like if you went on to enjoy, comment down below if you want to as well, and let's get into it. So I'm going to be starting it off with going on to Stormbreaker and just going over Stormbreaker's abilities, its capabilities, its history, and just giving my thoughts on it at the end and just going over all of that. So going on to the capabilities, it focuses Thor's power, which we've obviously seen in Infinity War. We've obviously seen all of that. So it focuses his power. Obviously it's made of Uru metal. It can withstand the Infinity Stones, which honestly was amazing to be able to see it in the cinema. I was just amazed to actually be able to see all of that. I was shocked when I saw it. It comes back to Thor like Mjolnir, so basically it just comes flying back whenever he wants it. And it is pretty cool. It's obviously really cool to be able to have that, and I would obviously love to have that. Obviously it's able to lock onto targets, it's new obviously. Mjolnir was not able to do it. I thought it was pretty good to be able to see. I enjoyed it. I thought it was maybe a bit overpowered at times, but I did enjoy it quite a lot. Obviously Thor can fly without spinning, which I thought was a pretty good thing as well. I thought it was a bit overpowered-ish at times. I guess you could put it a bit overpowered, but it was better. It's obviously going to be like an upgrade, which, if it's an upgrade, it kind of has to be stuff like that. Obviously, it was the strongest weapon ever created for Asgard's history, which I thought was still pretty good. I didn't expect it to be the strongest or the best, but honestly, I was open to kind of like everything. And obviously, it could endure Thanos and do all of that. It was able to do the Bifrost. It was able to do the Bridge of the Bifrost, which I thought was still pretty good as well. I didn't expect it when I first heard about it. I don't know much about it in the comics, I'll admit. I just don't really know too much about it. But then going on to the history of Stormbreaker, Thor obviously went to Nidavellir, which was, to forge a new weapon, which was going to be Stormbreaker. Dwarf King Eitri, I'm pretty sure is his name, created the weapon out of Uru metal, which we obviously figured out earlier on in the video. Thor obviously took the force of the dying star, which was going to be, I'm not entirely sure of the name, but he was able to take it anyway for a few minutes, I'm pretty sure. And obviously Eitri ignited the forge and done all of that. Groot was the handle and everything, so kind of fitted together quite perfectly. I thought it was pretty good as well. And obviously, I do like Thor's weapon, I do like Stormbreaker, I do like Mjolnir. Obviously, Thor's my favorite character from the MCU. I don't know much about Stormbreaker, I don't know much about the comics. I don't really know too much about Marvel Comics in general, or DC, I'm trying to get into it. But then again, going on to DC, which is going to be the Trident of Atlantis, which is going to be pretty amazing as well. So going on to the Trident of Atlantis, going on to the capabilities and powers, obviously only the true heir can actually wield it, which I thought was kind of pretty normal as well. It's kind of the same for Stormbreaker. It doesn't have an enchantment, which honestly, it was good to be able to see it. It's obviously it's going to be the Trident of Atlantis, which is going to be the most powerful weapon ever created, I'm pretty sure, in it. But then going back onto the whole powers and capabilities, it acts as a channel for obviously Aquaman's powers, which I thought was pretty good as well. It makes sense, kind of the same for Thor. Obviously with Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, it was always kind of a channel, especially for Mjolnir. It was always kind of a channel from what Odin, I'm pretty sure, ended up saying to him. Obviously the powers the king has are magnified, which I thought was pretty good as well. Obviously it makes sense. For Thor, it's kind of the same as well. And you get full power over the 7 seas, which makes sense as well. If you're going to be the king, you have to be like the king of all the kingdoms, I guess, is kind of like the best way to put it. You get the ability to control all of the sea life, which I thought, was pretty good as well. We obviously got to see that quite a lot. Weapon is extremely resilient, which is going to be really durable as well, which, makes sense. It is likely to have magical nature, which we don't know too much about it, but obviously it more likely would make sense if we did have it. So going over the history of the Trident and going on to just basically speaking about it, how it's forged and going on to all of that. So the Trident was formed out of Poseidon's steel, which we obviously get to hear about in the movie. And it was formed by smiths in the Sahara Desert before it was a desert, which we obviously got to figure out in the movie as well. In an experiment, it ended up sinking Atlantis and became an underwater civilization, which, all of it's from the movie. Alan went into exile holding the Trident in the Hidden Sea, which was in the middle of the earth. I'm not entirely sure where exactly it was. I'm pretty sure it's this secret kind of place that the trench were guarding, I'm pretty sure. So going over it and giving my thoughts and opinions and everything, going on to which one I would prefer, I would probably prefer the Trident. And going on to everyone I asked, if they ended up saying they'd prefer Stormbreaker, even though the powers are very, very different. They control both different aspects. You have thunder, you have lightning, and you have water. But obviously, as I said, it goes on to different aspects and it goes on to which one you would rather. And to be honest, if I hadn't seen Aquaman, I would have definitely 100% said Stormbreaker. But I'm definitely going to go on and say the Trident just because it's so unique. It's so interesting to me. It seems like the abilities are just so much better. Like, it just seems like that. Obviously, you have the whole Bifrost. You can control the whole lightning, thunder. You can do all of that with Stormbreaker. But again, if you go on to and get the Trident, you can just go on. You can rule over all the 7 seas. You can go on. You're basically the true heir to Atlantis, which, you know, it just seems so great. And then going on to it, if you don't know too much about either one, if you don't know too much about Asgard or you don't know too much about Atlantis, you have more than likely heard of Atlantis a bit more than Asgard, because Asgard isn't as like popular in my opinion. I've never heard of it before the movies. I've never heard of it before we went on and we got the MCU. I'd never really heard of it. And then obviously you have the whole Norse gods, you have everything like that. But then going on to it for like Atlantis, you have just underwater kind of like civilization that's sunk. And you know, it's not even from like the DCU. You can go out of it, you can go into different places. I'm pretty sure there's even stories about Atlantis right now going on to how exactly it sank and everything. But obviously I want to know what everyone thinks of it down below. Did you enjoy the video? Did you go on? Did you like it a bit? Which one would you rather? Would you rather have the Trident? Would you rather have Stormbreaker? You know, which one would you just basically rather, really? Because to be honest, as I said, I'm going with the Trident. I don't think I'm going to regret it. I do think it is going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see more of it. Obviously with all the like capabilities, the powers, all of that, when I went over it, you can see it's very powerful. You can basically just control all of the ocean and everything, all the sea life. You can go on, you can do all of that. Whereas with Stormbreaker, you can just basically fly. You can use the Bifrost. You can do stuff like that, which doesn't seem as appealing to me. But obviously comment down below what video you'd like to see next. Would you like to see maybe Shazam versus Thor? Would you like to see maybe someone else? I'm not too sure. Maybe Black Widow versus Captain America. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll do it. I don't really know yet. But you know, just hope you enjoy the video. Hope you can subscribe if you want to see more of this and leave a like and comment down below. And you know, goodbye.